further to the video I did yesterday, which by the way got 61,000 views so far in one day. I'm not bragging about it. What I'm stating is I was given a copy of a video. The video was inside the courtroom when the gentleman who they're looking for was charged the magistrate and the police, both of them, just happened to come from the same police station where some of the police who attended the incident where two people were shot, or three people actually, two killed, one injured. That's what's purported to have happened. How it happened, after watching the video, do I believe the police report? No, I don't. Do I believe the media? Absolutely not. Because you're all lying. What was said in the court was referred to sections of the Commonwealth Criminal Code 1914. He was correct. The magistrate is not lawful. He had to first be a justice of the peace, then go up through the ranks to become a stipendiary magistrate. That's not negotiable. That's imperial law in this country under the Colonial Laws Validity Act. Anything else is a lie. I don't care. Albanese, you got upset. Then get out of our parliament. You're a fraud. We have a constitution that says how you are required to be elected. We have imperial law says how the elections will take place. You clowns decided you could change it all. Sorry to the clowns. You morons decided you could. You decided one person who we had nothing to do with, who does not fit the moral requirements of the majority of people in this country, and I'm not saying about anything more than that, why was she given the right to go and sign, and then you say Australia signed on to the WHO? No, we didn't. Now, getting back to this court case, it's on my Facebook page. People should watch it. Write down the sections of the Crimes Act and understand he arrested the cops, every single one in that court. He arrested the magistrate. The magistrate was out of order and he referred to a court case, all of which is correct. You do not have the right to just browbeat somebody who goes to court with a case, challenges the jurisdiction of the court. That's Chapter 3 of the Constitution. It allows you to do that, and it requires all of you, every single one of you, to show where your authority comes from, because without authority granted by the Constitution, there is no power to do what you're doing. Those people that call it purported to be police, the whole lot, are public officers. Michael Kirby ruled that if you're a public officer, you're a creature of statute. You can never be an officer of the Crown. No crown, no authority, no right, nor any power. I don't care what you think. The law says, our law is supreme. The Commonwealth Constitution Act 1900 UK is an enabling act. It enables us to have a constitution. We voted for it, we got it. We being the people able to vote at the time. You can come and you can say we're First Nations people and all that. No, you're not. There never was a nation here. I'm not going to argue with that with you. Go and look up the history, the true history of this country. Do you have any rights? You've got heaps of rights. Your ancestors were here before us. I get that. They were not here more than around 500-600 years ago. There's no evidence to show to the contrary. You did not come over with Noah's Ark. All the religious beliefs and Christians that read the Bible believe in Noah's Ark. So you weren't here, or you would be drowned. Let's stop the nonsense and lies in this country. Albanese, it's not your government. You are illegitimate. I am not part of any sovereign citizen group or any other group. I made that abundantly clear 3 years ago in a Christmas party where I addressed a large group of people from all the groups. I said I will show you what the Constitution says and decisions of the High Court that prove it, which is what I'm doing. The government doesn't like it, the so-called government. It's not a government, it's a parliament which overstepped its powers so far it's ridiculous. You are a communist peanut, Albanese. There's a song written by AI in relation to you getting out. Goodbye, get out. You are not lawfully there. There is no such thing as preferential voting. There is no such thing as political parties being able to do what you've done. There is no lawful state parliaments because every single state has removed its state constitution. I'm talking about facts of law. You are talking lies and crap and political party, absolute crap and lies. Nonsense. Garbage. You have no right to go into our parliament without first swearing the oath of allegiance required by us through our constitution. Not your choice. 42 of the Constitution says every senator and every member of the House of Representatives, before they take their seat, must swear the oath in the Constitution. The Australia Act, no referendum, no value, nothing. I am not interested in your stupid green constitution. There was no authority for it. To have authority, it had to come from the people. It wasn't. It doesn't exist. Stop your lies. The red one is the interpretation by the people who framed the Constitution. Truth. They put forward a draft copy. Fact. That went to England. Fact. To get permission off the superior parliament to every parliament in this country. They got it, which is an enabling act, which enables us to have a constitution. Do you understand that? This isn't a dream, it isn't a thought, it isn't an opinion, it's fact of law. We are a self-governing colony of England until the people decide. You're not representing us when you change things. When you say you can do this, you can do that. You see, Queen Victoria was smarter than you idiots. She put every single one of these acts we have to refer to in as letters patent, which means the reigning monarch must sign. They didn't. Oh, she said it. I don't care what she said. I care what she put down on paper, because she too is bound by the law. You say it's a contract, where's both signatures? You're lying again. All the march is about is putting our constitution back in place so we have a lawful government that's there to serve everybody, not half a dozen idiots who have decided that we, both black and white, Aboriginal or any other thing, are aliens to this country. Are we against the way that the immigration is run? Yes, we are. There's an Immigration Act, a lawful one, of 1948. Where was the law for you clowns, you total idiots? Where was the law that gave you permission to dump the Imperial Acts? Nothing. There has never ever been a lawful federal parliament, so not one thing put forward has any value in law. And I'm glad. You know why? Because you're nothing but liars. Every single one of you. If you belong to a political party, you're a traitor. No exceptions. You don't swear the lawful oath, you definitely are. You go in our parliament as a political party, you go into treason. We need to stand behind Des, because these people that went there are public officers, creatures of statute. Where they draw their authority to enter that property, they didn't. It doesn't matter if they had a warrant issued under the authority of the state of Victoria, which dumped its constitution long before 1975. Fact. You take the constitution out, no lawful parliament. Where does every parliament go when you remove the state constitution? Back to imperial law. Can the federal parliament take over? It's nothing to do with them. They're not a lawful body without 6 lawful states, and we've never ever had them. That is an issue before the Magistrates Court in Geraldton. So is a challenge to the jurisdiction of every lawyer, because they have no authority whatsoever to be officers of the court. Can I have a glass of water, please? They have no authority. You can say what you like. Show me in the Constitution where they have authority to swear an oath to a foreign entity, being the City of London through the Bar Association, and sit in our courts. They don't have any. Did One Nation swear the lawful oath? No. No one did. I'm sorry, but that's the thing. No oath, no authority. As simple as that. The law, imperial law, is one Will and Mary from the revolution in 1600, which created the Church of England. The king did not. The bishops did. They went and told the Pope, pull your head in, you're not God on earth, and he isn't. That was the 13th century Pope decided that. Well, if he's a God, he's the God of the earth, Satan. Oh, you don't believe in Satan? Well, how come all the symbols in the Catholic Church, in the Roman Church, sorry, not the Catholic one, in Rome, are all satanic? How come they are? You're not going to answer any of the questions, like those purported police in that court. It's on my Facebook. You're welcome to watch it. Save it to your own computer so it doesn't get wiped out. And if you find out, as I did, on the day he went back to court to further instigate lawful proceedings, the gentleman you're hunting, the police put him into custody and the magistrate threw the case out because he wasn't there. That is conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. What he brought up in the court, I was listening to it as a retired cop. I understand exactly what he said, and the Criminal Code and the Crimes Act. Section 42. When the police never upheld what he said, after he said the law, the magistrate, who had no right to be there, he was under arrest. He should have sat there and shut up, because that's his only choice. That's the only choice he had, but he didn't take it. And that clown that called itself a police sergeant and the others that were in the court were all put under arrest lawfully. Does he have the right? Yes. Why? Because he's part of the 26 million people that make up the Commonwealth of Australia. We're the Commonwealth. You are not. You are our public servants. You are there to pass laws for us, not over us. You have a restraint on your ability to pass laws. How do we know that? Page 346 of the Red Constitution, ours, our interpretation by our people who put it together. We state, not all enactments of the Parliament are valid. Only those passed pursuant to, in accordance with, and under the authority granted by the Constitution, and those laws only are binding on the courts, judges and people. A parliament is there to debate and pass legislation. It has no authority at all and can never be granted it to have a cabinet and put legislation together. That is treason and a fraud. So there you are, Albanese, there's part of your lies just proven. Yeah, well, don't worry about what you find weird. Have another look. We're not debating religion, we're debating the lawfulness of what took place, and it's not. It's not. Doesn't matter which way you want to do it. If you hunt him down and shoot him, you are guilty of murder. You're also guilty of every offence he revealed to that court, believe it or not. You want to take him out of there and put him here. Dan Andrews is going to court this Friday. That would be nice. And if he was given we were given justice, he'd be locked up for life for shooting at the public. And it's interesting to note, since you brought up Dan Andrews, when he got those police to shoot at the public, shoot at them without lawful reason. They were all in battle jackets with all their bulletproof vests. Again, why weren't the police, purported police, that went to the gentleman's property? Why didn't they have it on? You see, there's holes forming in every lie you've put. And it's not, you didn't forget, it's not a mistake, you are lying. So you are becoming party to all offences committed by that magistrate and those police, purported police. They're not policy officers, they're an unlawful army set up by an unlawful state parliament without having a lawful state constitution. That is not an opinion. It is a requirement under 106. The state constitutions continue, subject to the Commonwealth Constitution and altered in accordance with that constitution. Clause 5 says you're bound by imperial law. The imperial law put in place was a letters patent for each state. Anything else is a lie. Am I correct? 100% correct. That's what our constitution says. You don't have one. Your green one is crap. Crap being human waste, and it has no value because it's hanging around with the rest of you maggots. Yes, it was horrific. I was part of the crowd, yeah, alright. I get that. Just leave that out for a minute, please, Mandy. Have a look at the video of the court case. I listened to what they said. The arrogance of that purported sergeant, who he wasn't. He had to be an officer of the Crown to be a sergeant. You had to be employed under imperial law, under the direct control of the governor, which you aren't, simply because you don't have a governor. What are we asking for on Sunday, if this still goes ahead? We're asking that you get out of our parliament, you lying thieves, you maggots, and you put the state constitutions back in place so we can have a lawful election to have a lawful parliament. If you put this gentleman, you take him into custody, you put him before the court, you have to do it under our law. Under our law, not under your lies. You see, any law you've passed that doesn't comply with the Constitution does not exist. Anne Toomey will tell you they've got plenary power. She doesn't understand the meaning of it, nor the application of it in relation to her parliament. I've tried to tell her she don't want to listen, so now she's party to that lie. Like it or not, Anne Toomey, stop lying. Stop lying and trying to make out that you have the right to tell the Parliament what to do. As I said the other day, I read your concoction that you put to Chief Justice French about how you can have all these outside agreements. There is no agreement. We're not part of the United Nations. We're not part of international law. There is no such thing. If there is, you show me in the Constitution where it exists. To put it in there, you need our permission. To put the Australia Act in place, you needed our permission. You cannot go to a politician and say, oh, we need your permission, that we'll have an act and we'll empower ourselves to complete a sovereign nation. You're a liar. You have no authority by the Constitution. Every law must be made pursuant to the authority granted by the Constitution. I said it yesterday, I've said it for years. You are not listening. It's not me that's not listening, it's you. Are you bound by it? Absolutely are. We've got an idiot here in Geraldton. I won't say which sex it is. It's in a police uniform, but it's not one. Says the state law overrides Commonwealth law. Liar. Change your attitude, stop lying, because it's going to send you to jail. You understand that? We are going to get our lawful parliaments back. We are going to have our constitution. That constitution and our parliaments will serve everybody. Whereas the people, not whereas Aboriginals or whereas white people or yellow people or anyone else. It's whereas the people joined together in one indissoluble federation, the Commonwealth of Australia. The first lawful gathering together of the whole lot of the people. No, you didn't have farms and all those buildings. That's all nonsense. I grew up with them. Several families, we worked with them. My dad did, our family did, and we mixed with them. I have no reason to lie about it. Peter, 109 isn't the only thing that confers. Every single part of the Constitution controls the Parliament. It does not control the people. Magna Carta, Habeas Corpus, 1688, Bill of Rights, King James Bible, Act of Settlement is all law. Stop lying, you people. G'day, Frank. The problem we have in this country is you can tell the politicians are lying because their lips are moving. I know there's one there who is telling the truth, but he won't get behind the Constitution, so he's not sitting in truth. Sorry, that's how it is. You must sit under the provisions of the authority granted by our Constitution, which sets your parameters. There's nothing else. Those police Gestapo in Melbourne were not police. They were from the UN, EU, scary times ahead. No, not scary times ahead. Stand up. If you're going to protest, go and stand outside the politicians' houses with banners explaining that they're liars and frauds and they're not representing you, because that's the truth. Yeah, no, I'm not listening to that. I'm not interested. Stop trying to get me caught up. Yeah, the case was supposed to be Friday. Yeah. It's not surprising they did what they did to. No, it's not. Last time they stopped him going to court, so it will be thrown out. That's perverting the course of justice like with a lumper. And those cops in the court, you knew what was taking place and you did nothing about it. You don't have a case against him and you know it. If you shoot him, you better have a good reason, because you're going to have to deal with the public. I'm not threatening you. I'm promising you. We've had a guts full of your garbage. I don't take any violent action against anybody. I take lawful action. And I talk to the magistrates in Geraldton. I don't want to lock them up. I want to lock up the judges, the politicians, and the lawyers that put this crap together and think they have the right to inflict it on us and take control of this country. You don't. I don't care if you want to be an Aboriginal activist or white activist. If you've got the law behind you, I'll get behind you. I'll tell you where it is and how to deal with it. I learnt it. I spent years and years and years learning it. I'm no expert, but I know more about the Constitution than Anne Toomey, because she knows nothing, or very little. And as for those people that sent fines from the AEC, they don't exist in law. Every single election must be done state by state under the control of the state governors. You can't change that, because that changes the Constitution. It's the coming together of representatives of every state that create the federal parliament. We've never had 6 states full of representatives to come together. Read Section 8 of the Constitution. Vote for one person once for the Senate. Section 30. One person once for the House of Representatives. Can you change that? No. Have you got the power to change the Constitution? No. You have the power of alteration, but you need our permission. So regardless which way you think, you still need us, we the people. We the people who you are required to represent and don't. Till you do, you are nothing except a filthy, lying traitor. You don't like what I say? Boo-hoo, get over yourself. I don't care. It's time you got under our Constitution, because to be lawful you've got to sit inside the Commonwealth held to the Constitution. Read it and understand. That's our law. We said you don't matter what you said, ever. If you want to put something to us, you put it through the lawful channels, not through your lies and fraud. It's finished. Yeah, stupid Albo, Wong and Chalmers. And Chalmers, the other day when they were talking about the subject, was sitting there laughing Was he laughing at the stupidity of Albo? I would have thought so, given what he said. And Wong, Wong, you're just a criminal. You cannot go to another country and sign anything on behalf of the people without first getting permission. How do you represent the people when you don't ask them? And don't come up with this crap about a mandate. You don't date men according to your versing you've given to people prior. If you do, go for it. You can change. I'm not criticising you. There's no mandate where we just say, oh yeah, do what you like, and wife and kids in protective custody. What a joke. They don't have to be protected from him. They have to be protected from the idiots that have got him in protective custody. Because they have no lawful right to. He didn't threaten to kill him. That's all lies. If it isn't, prove it. Where is the recordings? Where are your body cams? Where was your protective clothing? You're lying, the whole lot of you. You'll never ever get anybody to believe anything except the truth. And you're not telling it. So you have a nice day.